Oh, fuck. Hello my friends, it's Commander Keen back with some more Borderlands 3 content. I wanted to get a video out today because I put out a little teaser a couple nights ago of me one-shotting the Seer, and you guys responded to that pretty well on YouTube, and there were a few requests in there to figure out how this is going on, so I wanted to get this little video put out. I've been working for most of the day seeing what I could do with this technique and this kind of build on Vermivorous and Hermivorous, and unfortunately I think Vermivorous is health gated, and between that and Hermivorous, sorry, I don't know that I'm going to have any luck one-shotting them. I'm not going to stop trying, but I'm going to keep going. However, Seer is easy peasy, and I'm confident that this will work on any boss. This isn't so much a full build as it is a reminder of a mechanic that's in the game and some kind of helpful tips on how to abuse it. So let's take a look and see what we have. Alright, now before we get into anything too crazy, I will do what I always do and just throw the skill tree up for you guys on the screen right here. So you can just take a quick look and grab that tree and then head out and try it out for yourself if you want. And if you like to stick around, then let's check out the rest of the build. Alright, like I mentioned before, this one's pretty simple, so we're just going to spec 5 out of 5 into Do Harm to get our action skill damage as high as possible. 1 in Alacrity, 3 in Transcend, 5 into Restless just to help fill the bottom of the tree, 1 in Ascendant, 3 in Laid Bare, 3 in Wrath, 3 into Awakening to get our rush stack efficiency up, 2 in Remnant. Normally I just say to put 1, but we had an extra point on this one, and the whole point of this build is actually to get Remnant damage as high as possible, so it makes sense to throw an extra one in there if we got it for spare. And finally Avatar, we just want that so we can double cast. Over to the red tree now, we have 5 out of 5 in Anima, so we could get to the next row where we have 5 out of 5 in Tempest and 1 in Illuminated Fist. That's it for the red tree. Realistically, we only need Tempest and Illuminated Fist. We just had to put the point somewhere, and it makes the most sense to throw 5 into Anima. Coming over to the green tree, we kind of have to spend a whole lot of points to get the only real skill that we need for this build. 5 out of 5 in Root to Rise gets us to the next row where we can max out Arms Deal, Samsara, and a little bit of Helping Hands. I threw 3 to 3 into Mindfulness and 1 into Find Your Center. I maxed out Jab Cross as much as I possibly could, including the 2 from my class mod. Now this is important because Jab Cross is what gets us an extra 105% action skill damage after we melee damage an enemy. This is huge for us. The name of the game for this build is action skill damage leading to overkill, so we want to boost that action skill as high as we can. Now for action skills for this, take Reverberation. I did a bunch of testing today with different class mods, different comms, different artifacts, different setups. Reverberation consistently hit the hardest in my testing. It hits like an absolute truck. Not only that, but we get a bonus of 50% damage per enemy hit. So if we have a line of enemies, we can absolutely lay waste and get multiple Remnant Balls at the same time. We're going to spec into Soul Sap, even though we're going to be likely using a Deathless, because Soul Sap is one of the only action skill augments that doesn't take some sort of, it doesn't receive some sort of penalty to our action skill, either through damage or cooldown rate, so we're going to take Soul Sap to keep everything flowing. Now, as far as your element goes, you can use what you want. For the most part, it's going to be depending on what enemies you're facing, but for the most part, just use Chakra as it gets the biggest damage increase from Tempest. Alright, so as for gear recommendations, my go-to is the ×14 Face Puncher with URAD on it, Guardian Angel with URAD on it, just because it's fun, Revolter with an action skill start anointment, a Piss Grenade with On Grenade Thrown 25% for 6. I like this Muse class mod because it's got 2 into Jab Cross with action skill damage as well. And I've been using an Icebreaker Deathless. The Icebreaker part does nothing for us in this build really, but I like the magazine size, the radiation damage bonus, and the Deathless. So if you can get yourself an Atom Bomb Deathless, that would probably be ideal for this build. So let's talk a little bit about the mechanics at play here that allow us to do this damage to the point where we're one-shotting Seer and we're health gating Vermivorous. It's pretty simple. We are just abusing Remnant Balls and Groundbreaker, essentially. We're using Reverberation because it is, as I mentioned before, the hardest hitting phase cast skill that I could find in our action skill arsenal. Absolutely hits like a truck. We're using the Piss Grenade to debuff our enemies. We're using a Piss Grenade with the 25/6 anointment to further boost our action skill damage. And we're basically just going to abuse Remnant Balls. That's pretty much it. If the Remnant Ball doesn't hit what we want it to, then we just take the resulting Groundbreaker damage and we use it out of our Face Puncher. That's pretty much it. I mean, you can see in these videos that it will completely wipe Herbivorous or Vermivorous health bar with one shot. It'll one-shot the Seer. I have no doubt in my mind that this would bring any enemy to their health gate or their immunity phase in the game. It's really not a groundbreaking interaction. I think people just kind of forgot about the best way to utilize it. So that's why I wanted to put this together. So essentially, use your action skill, deal as much damage to a debuffed enemy as you can to really work that overkill damage, and then from there, just kind of let it do its thing. In terms of using this in the raid, against the raid bosses, it's actually really difficult because the Remnant Ball is kind of dumb. It doesn't track very well, so I wouldn't go ahead and say that this is like an amazing build for the raid. I was able to get some pretty quick kills with this build just because it completely wipes an entire health bar at a time when it connects. But getting it to connect isn't exactly 100% reliable. So your mileage may vary, but it generally works very well as long as your Remnant Ball cooperates. So the general flow or rotation of how you want to play this build is fairly simple. You want to use the Face Puncher or a melee attack to hit an enemy to proc Jab Cross to get that action skill damage boost. Then you want to debuff the enemy and simultaneously buff our action skill further by throwing the Piss Grenade with the 25/6 seconds anointment. Then you want to cast your action skill, again Reverberation, onto the ad, hopefully when it is nearby the enemy that you are trying to eliminate with the Remnant Ball, or by another ad that you're able to hit with the Remnant Ball so you can take that overkill damage for Groundbreaker application with the Face Puncher. Alright guys, that's it for this one. I just wanted to do a quick video showing you how I did it and how you can too. If you like what you saw, feel free to leave me a like, follow, subscribe, or come check me out on Twitch on Monday and Wednesday evenings. Or you can leave me a comment down in the section below. I really like checking all those out. Let me know what kind of content you'd like to see next on the channel, and I will be sure to take a look. But yeah, that's it for this one. That's all I got. So until next time, I'll see you guys later, and thanks everyone for watching.
Ghost.